I've got Sarah here from CPR Kids. Hey, Sarah.
Hello.
And we've been chatting this morning about all of these wonderful things that happen with our little ones, whether it's how to make sure we're prepared for their safety around the home, right through to fevers, and also now we're talking about giving medication. And I know I was just sharing that my little one struggles greatly when I try and give her medication. She refuses, she twists her head, she gags and tries to spit it up. So I've learnt the hard way that there are some very simple techniques that you can actually use to make sure you're giving it correctly, which I know you're going to share that and a lot more.
Yes. So when it comes to medication, we need to remember that it's just not negotiable, that this is something where we are the parent. If your child needs medicine, they simply have to take it, and we can't let them, win's the wrong word.
Dictate?
Yes, dictate whether or not they're going to have it. We can, of course, with toddlers, we can give them some choice, like what teddy would you like to hold while you have your medicine, or what snack would you like afterwards. So we're still giving them some choice, but it isn't negotiable. And when we think about babies as well, it's really important that we are always measuring the right dose. So this might be a course of antibiotics that your child has had, and you're on day 7, you're on the last one, and you know exactly because you've done it 4 times a day for the past 6 or 7 days. But don't get complacent. Always check the bottle, check the dose, and make sure that you have drawn up the right amount. It's really, really important. And thinking about things, if your child's got a cold and it's the middle of the night and they are miserable and they've got a sore throat, and you reach for the analgesia such as paracetamol, making sure that you're not just going in and drawing that up, that you are really checking that bottle and getting the right dose. Because I have, in the middle of the night, 2 different aged kids accidentally pulled off that top shelf with the medication, where of course it's out of reach, bleary-eyed, gone to draw up the medication and realised I had the wrong bottle.
Yeah.
I had the bottle of the concentrated one, not the one for the child whose
so
age it was. Easily, but of course I caught it because I was looking at the bottle and I double checked.
Yes.
It just goes to show how easy it is to do that.
Yeah, and to forget. I think, a lot of those times, especially in the early months, you are sleep deprived. I know that I've forgotten what time I've given medication, or, how spaced out it needs to be. So even making a note of it can be very
so
helpful.
Important. Always record that, because thinking about that, if we are giving doses of medication to babies and children, that an extra meal in an adult might be fine for us. But when we think about that, we might have a baby who weighs 6 or 7 kilos, an extra meal can be 4 or 5 times the dose of something and can be catastrophic for them. So it's really important that we are always double checking that. And of course, then you have the little ones who are resistant to the medication. And a really good thing to be able to do is, as your bub gets a little bit older, role play with them about giving medicine to teddies and things like that, so it becomes, familiar to them. Give them a syringe to play with and to be able to suck on that's got nothing in it, so they're familiar with the object. Thinking about those sorts of things. And also, it can be really tempting just to drop a bit of their medicine into a bottle, for example, with some formula or water or whatever it is that your child has in there. But that often doesn't work because they may not take the whole thing, and then you don't know what dose they've gotten. You can mix some medications in with food, such as a little spoonful of yogurt, but you always need to check with your pharmacist first, because some medications can't actually be mixed with certain foods. So it's really important that you do always double check that. And when it comes to the bubs and toddlers who like to spit the medication back at you,
I have
been there. Yes, absolutely. Then the way that you hold your child is really important. If it is an option, having 2 people can often help. Sometimes that's not an option though. So being able to hold them nice and firmly so that their arms are not all up and around. So really holding them like this.
Like you do when you go for your vaccinations, they get you to.
That's right. So you can tuck around and being able to do this, exactly that. And putting a tiny little drop from the syringe right in the back of their cheek. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's an important thing, because if we squeeze the whole lot in, then I can guarantee you're going to be wearing it.
Yes.
Especially if they're crying and they're cranky. Now, they've got a good gag reflex that will protect them from being able to, inhale, or if you're worried about that. Just that little drop in the side of their cheek, let them swallow, and the next drop in. And yes, it takes a while, but as I said before, medication isn't negotiable. If they need to have it, they need to have it, and we've got to get it into them.
Yes, and it's better going in slowly than bringing it back up very quickly, which I've definitely experienced.
Exactly.
So.
And if they've got a dummy, by all means, have the dummy in the mouth so that they're sucking while you can actually slip that in behind.
Yes, that is the perfect tool.
It is.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.